Hello, friends. Welcome to Squared Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be doing my 2024 planner setup. I'll be showing you how I'm putting 4 different planners into my Franken planner, catch-all planner, and just getting it all ready to go for the beginning of the new year, which is right around the corner, or when you see this video, is actually today. So if that sounds good, let's jump in. So to begin, I have this Happy Planner Faith cover on the front, along with these gold metal discs in 1.5 inch size. I also have my pin loop and my friction pen. This is a knock ball friction pen, which is a little bit nicer than the standard click friction pens that they sell. I found this recently and I really like the look of it, so that one is nice to have on hand. Friction pens are erasable, in case you've never heard of them, and I couldn't plan without them. They're one of my top planning items. So I have it in black here in a 05 tip, and then I have a 4-color version with 05 tips at the back. So next we have my sticky dash, and I DIY'd this. I've put a collection of different stickies from my stash. Most of these are Happy Planner sticky notes, but I have a few that I got here like at Daiso. This one was from Planything. So they're not all Happy Planner sticky notes, but for the most part they're really cute and fun. So I do like to use the Happy Planner ones that I have in my stash. And so I have this pocket in the back, which is handy for holding, stickers that I may want to use or just something that I might need to reference. And then this top loading one for maybe something I want to just have with me all the time, but don't need to grab very often. It's come in handy a few times this year, so I'm looking forward to having it again there in 2024. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this layout. I've been using the 6 dividers here on the side to organize the sections in my planner, specifically the major areas that are not individual planners. So my first section is my inbox section. And here I have it right at the front of my planner. These dashboards I made myself last year, and they're just printed on some cardstock. Very handy. I also have printed out the sheets that I want from the inbox printable from my Etsy shop. So I use the Getting Things Done method by David Allen. I do use it a little bit differently maybe than originally intended, but for the most part, this is where I put things that aren't immediate. So something that I can't immediately put into my planner somewhere, that's where I put it here, and then take that Getting Things Done method and move it through these pages from there. So this is the inbox. I've got 2 of those, along with these next steps pages, and then a waiting on page, a projects page, and then a someday page. Like I said, there are more pages in that printable, so these are not all of them. I just printed the ones that I felt worked for me. If you want to know a little bit more about getting things done and that whole method of organization, just check the description below. I will link the video to that inbox setup that I originally did, so you can kind of see how the method works and how to work these worksheets. Okay, so next we have my second section, which is my goals section. And again, I have the divider that I made. I did a full setup of my goals pages just recently, so I'm ready to go for the new year. Got my word of the year, which is renew, along with a vision statement, my vision, and my Q1 goals all set up. I also went ahead and set up the second, third, and fourth quarter goals pages. So those are ready to go. And I have some extra dot grid pages in here ready to go for creating goals review pages later down the road. So that's what's in that section. Next, we have my third section, which is my productivity section. And currently this one is a work in progress. I am working on a few things that I want to have in here, including a master schedule. So this one I'm just trying to figure out if it will work for me. Also, just some items that I've been kind of working through. I have some old printables in here for now, which I will be replacing, but I wanted to have them in here for reference. I have my morning routine, which I used to have in my planner all the time, but took it out early, I think last year, and kind of kept it off to the side since I knew my routine pretty well. But I feel like my routine is getting longer and longer, so I need to really just kind of reevaluate and hone in my morning routine. And then I want to recreate this one as well, which is my master schedule, like I kind of mentioned, because things are different now and it will be different in 2024. If you want to see more about setting up this and then this also block schedule pages, those three I did a video on showing you how to approach setting those up and getting those master type schedules figured out for your own planner. So I'll link that as well down below in the description if you want to know more about routine building. I have my Kanban board in here as well, which is honestly very useful, but this is a very hard goal for me, so it's still in progress. I did a video on this as well, and I will link that down below if you just kind of want to see how I'm working that. I have my monthly cleaning schedule in here as well. I've cleaned it up. This is a reusable sheet that I laminated, and I just use a Sharpie marker with so that I can check things off as they go through in the month and then reuse it the following month. Video on this, check below. On the back is more of the annual cleaning items. So again, just something that I can use and then check off and renew each year. Okay, so next we're on to my schedule section. And in this section is where I'm housing those 4 planners I mentioned to you before. There are 5 sets of top tabs here of 4 tabs each. The very first set is for my annual planner, which is technically not a planner in and of itself. So there is 5 sets of tabs, but the very first planner is going to be my annual planner. I use those tabs to navigate my planner every morning. Again, if you're new to my channel, I did do a video just kind of describing how to set up your planner to make it efficient and maximize your productivity. And this is one thing that I feel like has definitely helped me maximize my productivity in my planner. So any page that I need to touch in the morning or basically on a daily basis, whether it's something I'm tracking, so I need to add in tracking information, I need to reference it for scheduling, to-dos, tasks, that kind of thing, I put a tab on it. So top tabs is that area where I know I need to look at that page every day. The side tabs are more for major sections, and then at the bottom, these bottom tabs down here for long term, those are things that I just need to be able to find when I need them, but don't reference regularly. So that's kind of how I have this set up, and there's no conflicting tab orientation, so I know for sure if I'm checking on the sides, it's a major section, checking at the top, this is my everyday items, bottom is my long-term storage. Very helpful, I believe, for maximizing your productivity. So that's just a tidbit about that. But if you want to know more about how you might be able to do this in your own planner and get some ideas and tips, do check out that video, which I'll link below. So for the beginning of 2024, like I said, I have set up this very front section to be my annual planner pages. So I have inserts from my Etsy shop. This is my 2024 year at a glance. I've also added in this important dates and holidays vellum, which I just kind of created and threw it in there. I'll be giving this printable away as a freebie in case you need the same in your planner. I just went ahead and printed it on some vellum and thought it would be just a nice addition to have since I don't track all of the dates and holidays in my planner. If it's something that you are interested in, just check the description down below and get the downloadable link from there. So that said, I have my, year at a glance from my shop. And I have my first tab in here in case I need to use this year at a glance or reference it. This is a little bit of a different section since I'm not going to necessarily need to reference it every day, but I have some ideas for how I might want to use these pages for more than just reference. So I went ahead and set up a tab for it anyway, just to be able to have it in my flow in case something is, it's some kind of habit tracking that I need to track on this page. But otherwise, I've just got that vellum there for reference and then the 2025 page. The next tab is my yearly habits tab, and this is set up in quarters for the page. This is something that I want to bring into my shop. I just want to check it out first and make sure that it works. So it's not currently available, but it will be. As soon as it is available, I will add the link to this video. And then, of course, I will let you guys know if you follow my channel when it arrives into my shop. This is based off of something I saw on Hobonichi as well as Plan to Create. I think she creates one for her planner in her shop. And it's a layout that you can use to track something throughout the year. So I'm excited for this, but I honestly haven't figured out which habits yet I'm going to track. But I will get that going as soon as possible and put that there on the page. So that will be my second tab. And yes, I have it for easy access since I will need to check it daily. Then we have my future log, which is something that I, again, did a video on just recently. This is definitely more of a, if I need it, I need to have quick access to it, but may not need to check it regularly. So I do have it on the third tab, but it would be something that I wouldn't necessarily need to look at every day since I will have a monthly layout that will have basically the same things. My flow for this is if I get something new in some new event or appointment or to-do that is kind of like scheduled out farther than a month, this is where it comes first. And then as I'm setting up each month, I transfer these items to my monthly setup. I have the key here as well, so everything's color-coded so I can easily look at the month and see what's going on. And then this was something I didn't show in my lineup video because I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to do it. But I decided to do this as its own standalone item, but in a monthly format. So actually this should be here. And I did do a setup video on this as well, if you kind of want to see the plan with me on this. So this will be a place for me to just write down a memory each day. I also like to track my movies and books, TV that I'm watching here in the sidebar, but we'll also be including some collections pages as soon as I get that together and putting those at the back of the planner. But this is just going to be for memory keeping. So last thing in here, it's just a monthly spread, a lined monthly spread from my shop to help me write nicely in this area. And I will need to write something in every day, so I have a tab for that. I'm actually thinking about using this like as a currently page, as like the month overview, tying it all together. So we'll see what formulates out of that. But this would be something I would set up on a monthly basis if I do decide to use it. So that's the end of the annual year planner that I have here. Next, we go into what I would consider a traditional planner, and that is my faith planner. So this one here will live, all of the months will live in this little setup I've made with some discs from the Happy Planner and a cover and some dividers that I grabbed from an older Happy Planner as well. I've only printed 1 month so far for this, so for now this is just going to be thin and weak until I actually fill it out with the printables. The reason I started with 1 month is because I've had a lot of changes in this planner, so I want to be able to have the flexibility to adjust before February hits if January isn't working how I want it to. That said, let's go ahead and go into January's. I've already set up my faith for this, and I have a plan with me on that. Just need to check my faith playlist, and you'll find the full setup video for this planner. So my first tab is my overview tab. I have that. And over here, this is something that's available in my shop. It is a faith overview layout. So it's an additional item that I've added into the combined planner that you're going to see here in a second. But it has a place for a prayer list and some habits, a nice big open area, which I've penciled in, but need to pen in the verse of the month, and then some spiritual check-in questions basically here at the bottom. Then we get into my faith month tab, which is my second tab. And here's where I will track my daily Bible readings and my takeaway or summary of my Bible reading there. Next, we have the first week of the quadrant layout, which again, these are all from my shop. The quadrant layout is what I use to do my verse of the day lettering, and all of this is very similar to 2023, so I'm excited for this. It's a really good setup, and I don't think I'll need to make any changes, so I went ahead and set it all up and have it ready to go. I'm going to jump ahead. At the back, I'll be doing what I'm calling my faith project. This will probably change from month to month. The first month I've got vaguely set up, and it's something that I will check in with every week, but I did want to have a tab there so that I remember to look at it and don't neglect it. Okay, so next we're going to go into my next planner, which is my health planner. And this is the setup I have for my health planner. It's basically just, again, some Happy Planner discs and a cover from Happy Notes and some dividers from an old Happy Planner as well. So each month will be kind of sectioned off, but all of the inserts are printables from my shop. So I don't have the inserts from the Happy Planner. I'm using my own printables for that part of it, but I like to have them organized in their own planner so it's easy for me to reference and find as the year goes through. So my first section in my health planner is this one here, which is my health overview. So this has changed a little bit since my lineup video. I've added a step tracker here along with some habits, set it up so that it can be printed either left or right, and did the same for this workouts page as well. So these are items that I'm currently working through before I put them into my shop, so they're not available yet, but I hope to have them into my shop sometime in February once I figure out what needs to change or what's working or what's not. It's similar to my health overview layout in a sense. There are some habit trackers here, and this one is similar to my month overview layout, which has a smaller month and an area at the bottom. So there is some options if you kind of want to recreate this, but this as it is not currently available. I still need to set it up and decorate it. This is brand new to me, so we'll figure it out as we go along. But like I said, I'll be doing some step tracking, habit tracking, and here I'm thinking to do my new strength training program, writing down what it will be for the month down below, and then scheduling it out so I know what days I need to be lifting and which days I need to rest and things like that. So my next spread, which would normally be a monthly overview or like a monthly layout, is what I'm calling my health wellness layout. For that, I am using, again, 2 items that I hope to add to my shop, but currently trying out in January. The first one is my meds and supplements tracker. I have something similar to this that I've been using for 2023, but really wanted to see how I liked a vertical format of that. So I've got that, and then I've also got this symptom tracker over here, which again is something new. I'm going to test this out and see if there are anything I would change or modify before I put it out there for public use. Something I haven't mentioned yet is the tabs that I'm using for these top tabs and the side tabs. So I got a bunch of new ones from Live Love Posh's store over the Black Friday sale that she had over Black Friday. So these 5 sets that I got were all from her, which is why I can pre-set up this planner. Otherwise, I would have had to pull them from my current planner. The ones here on the side were ones I got from Amazon, which are just as good, honestly. They're a little bit thicker, which I do like about them for the major sections. These ones are really very thin, which I like actually for the top tabs, but I do like having a little bit more thickness here on the side tabs since they do get a little more roughed up with the pens and things there on the side. And the bottom ones here too are from Amazon as well. These will be linked down below, as well as these and these. So if you are looking for any of the accessories that I'm showing you in the setup, just check the description. Try to fill out all of the links that I have available, which can currently be purchased. And that way, if you want to do a similar setup, you'll be able to find the items that you need. One other thing I'll mention at this point too is the labeling. I just use a clear sheet of label paper in letter size. So I print this directly from my computer, and each of these tabs is labeled with the planner name first. So this one would be my health planner, the previous one would be faith, year is what I'm calling the first set, and then whatever I'm using to label the spread that they're going to fall in, this one being my wellness spread. That's a little bit about those tabs. If you have more questions about that, just do feel free to leave those in the comments below. That was my wellness spread, and like I said, I'm working through those pages. Next we have my health weekly spread, which I'm using a lined vertical layout from my shop for this. This is available. I've already preset up the first week. Here I like to track my food log as well as my workouts and any stats, health stats that I'm tracking on here, along with I've added water to this year's set. Since I used to have a hydration tracker on the side in 2023, I've just moved that into my stats stickers that I use. And again, these are something I just created on my computer and then print them out on clear label paper and cut them. And finally, we have my back page, which is my health trackers section. Here, I'm going to be tracking my fasting hours. Again, another chart that I made just this year, and I already have an issue that I see I want to correct for the one I put in my shop. So even though I've made adjustments, I keep finding new things that weren't quite right. So that's why I test these things out before I put them in my shop. The previous one that I had set up had 24 hours across. This one, I don't feel like I need the full 24 hours, so I've condensed it down to 12 hours starting noon to 11. So that works for me as far as the way that I've been eating, more of a 1 meal a day. But I will have the 24-hour one available as well. And you guys will see how I'm using these in my flip through video, so you can get an idea of, like I said, how I'm using them and if they'll work for you. So that's where this guy goes. So I have like the health trackers. I'm also going to be using this section, which again is something I built out but I haven't shared yet, for tracking my measurements for the year. Also, I built this for tracking my weight. And then at the back, I have this monthly stats, health stats chart as well. So these are, again, things that I've been building. They're new, they're brand new to me, so they'll be brand new to you, and haven't quite made it into my shop. But I do need to kind of test them out, make sure that they're everything I want them to be and more before I put them out there. I like that this is a separate section that I can easily kind of clip for these pages to be together, and can do my weight, but then keep it hidden when I do my flip throughs, because I don't really share my weight anymore. It's been off the rails for a couple years. So, I mean, I'm hoping to make some really good progress in 2024. But that said, I do still like to keep some of the things hidden at this stage of my life. So I kind of have this as its own little separate thing. And I'm not sure exactly what I want to do with this yet. I may set this up with some kind of DIY health setup, but haven't decided. So for now, it's just a blank page. And like I said, I'll kind of like link these together so that I will be reminded to check both the weight tracker and my fasting hours every day. That is my health planner sections. And next we're into a condensed version of my planner setup for this year, which I'm calling my agenda planner. I used to have a daily planner and then an hourly planner. My daily was a horizontal and my hourly was obviously an hourly style planner, more of a goals setting planner. This time I'm combining those two in a sense because there was a lot of redundancies, and I'm calling it my agenda. So if you saw my lineup video, you'll know that this is the planner that I was pre-setting up with my own printables. This is a cover from the Happy Planner, again, an old one, and some discs from the Happy Planner. And then I also have some handmade cardstock dividers that I made that I have in here as well. Again, there's no inserts in here because I'm testing some things out to see if I want to do them. I also have this guy waiting in the wings in case the current setup that I have doesn't work out. I have this horizontal layout from the Happy Planner that I can push back in and reassess if, like I said, this doesn't work out for me as is. So at the front, I have my monthly overview pages. This is my agenda overview as the tab is labeled. Monthly overview, this is available in my shop as is with a different page on this side. It's got a place for some habits. I also have a long checkoff list, which I'm using for my monthly to-dos. And then I have my goal setting pages, which I'll be setting up here shortly before the new year starts. These all tie back to the quarterly and annual goals. And so each month I set up my monthly goals and work them into the system. I will need to check this on a regular basis because I have the habit trackers there, and it will be good because I'll make sure I'm looking at my monthly goals daily. I also just did a plan with me on this if you want to see the setup of the decor, and just check my channel, and I also tried to link those plan with me's down below as well. So this is new. I originally in my lineup video had two single month layouts, one that I was going to use for my monthly scheduling and one that I was going to use for my social scheduling. I thought about this for a while and decided to go back to a full 2-page monthly spread for scheduling in this section, and then move my 1-page single monthly social to the back, which you'll see in a second. The reason I did that is because I do want to set up these months every month, but I usually pre-plan my social media calendar like midway with the previous month. So in order for me to decorate it and share it with you guys and still be able to pre-plan, it kind of has to have a little bit of a separation from the main event of the planner, which you'll see how I went with that. So we'll see how this goes. I usually don't have that much going on, so I don't normally need a full planner spread for scheduling. I also have my future log at the front, which basically will have the same amount of items on it. But we'll see. I have tried this in the past, and it can work for busier months, so we'll see how this goes. And I haven't set up any of the hourly sections yet, but this will be my first week. I decided to let my horizontal go for a while and focus on the hourly setup. I will try to decorate this, but I haven't quite figured out the best way to decorate it yet. So something I'll be working through. And then I also have the idea to add a half sheet for more pre-planning and maybe task management. So I just have this grid sheet that I already pre-cut and punched to try it out. I'm using one in my catch-all now. And what I've been doing is putting Monday through Sunday on the front or on the back, depending on the week, so I try it both ways. And then adding in an Alistair method style task list on the back. I'll share that with you in the flip through video, which I think I should be out by the time you saw that. So you can kind of see how I was testing things out, and then I will see if that works again once I get into this for 2024. That actually needs to have my agenda tab in there. We'll put that there. So that would go here. But again, I need to set that up. And this layout is the hourly grid layout from my shop. The monthly overview layout is just available, the 2-page monthly split page layout. And I have a lined version as well, which you saw in the beginning in my memory keeping. So yeah, so this is the grid, hourly grid layout, and it goes from 6 to 10 in case you can't see that. And it starts from here and goes down to here. So you have some room at the top for whatever you need, or if you cut your day off early, you can have some room down here as well for some tracking. Okay, so here I have what I'm calling my agenda social section. So this is the same. This is where I'm going to track my social stats. I used this same layout for 2023. I just flipped the page from being on the right-handed side to the left, and I'm using that. It's all customized kind of to what I needed it to be used for. And then I've added in the social media schedule here on this side. So when I set up the month, I can just go to this page and then have this one be already pre-planned out, and won't be sharing it, but just know that I'll be theming it all together at some point. So it will match up, and you'll be able to see what I ended up doing in my flip through videos at the end of the month. So this is my agenda social tab, and again, it'll be something I'll need to check daily, so I have the tab there. Finally, we have my finance planner, and I purposely tried to film this video before I filled it out so I could share a little bit more with you about how the flow is going to be for 2024. I did do a budget setup video if you want to see that. I'll try to link that as well down below in the description. So I'll be able to kind of walk you through this initial setup before I really get into it. This is using pages from my budget planner in my Etsy shop again. And at the front, I've added a perpetual calendar for tracking my daily Etsy sales. So that'll be my first tab in here. And basically I just write down the amount every day. That's really all I use it for. And I have thought about making a condensed version that goes from January to December all in one spread. If I have time before I have to get into this, I will see about making that happen. Otherwise, I'll just be using this, which already exists in my shop, the perpetual yearly planner. So I've got that. I need to print out the next page, which I think is why I had this little sticky note. Yeah. In case, and because I think I misprinted it, so I need to print that last page. So the next section is going to be my finance month. And this is where I see my month at a glance. This is already preset up with the way that I've been budget planning. This one is very functional, so I just use color coding and pen, no stickers usually in this planner. So I have the bills and income that's supposed to come in, as well as the monthly overview, which this year has a projected and an actual column, which I kind of like, but similar to what I was using last year as well. So I have the monthly overview, and then at the back of that, I have the monthly expenses where I have a tab ready to go, so I can write in whatever we spend money on every day and keep a tally of it. There is a nice checkbox that is something new this year, which will be nice to know when things have actually cleared my accounts. Sometimes you make a return or something, but it doesn't go through for a couple of days, that kind of thing, or you get those pending items. So that's what I'm going to be really using that for. And I usually need more than one page, but not quite 3, but I go ahead and print off 3 pages anyway, just so that I can have a complete month separate, and then I go into the annual pages. So for the annual pages, I have a few of them. This one is my year at a glance. So this is where I put those annual payments that we have just ready to go so I can review them and just know what month they're coming in. I also have the yearly overview, but again, I don't have a tab in this because I won't need to check that regularly. I do have a yearly payment tracker, which is a way for me to actually write in how much each of the items are. And then I can actually get a full total of how much I spent, say, on electricity for a year, that kind of thing. So that's really nice. And the next thing I have is actually my home checking account, register. So this one has a tab, so I'll remember to check all of my bank accounts and make sure there's nothing weird going on and, record any movement that's happening. I have 1 page per account in here right now. So I have the tab there at the front, but I usually, once I know to check this one, I'll go through all of the individual pages and just make sure that each one is checked in the morning. All right, so we're getting to the end. Finally, I have my reference section. So this is a 5th tab on the side tabs. And like I mentioned before, cardstock that I printed. I have my long-term storage here. These 4 tabs, personal, business, work, and social, with their own dashboards, all ready to go. And then I will move over those reference items here after the video is filmed. There's a lot of private information in there that I can't really share, so it just makes it a little bit easier. But that's all ready to go. And then my last tab is my collections tab with a new dashboard. And here I have already kind of like a scratch list of books I want to read, but I'll be creating some collections pages, DIY pages for this back section as well. Got this folder from the Happy Planner in here that I like to have as a separation here in my planner. And then I have some mini sheets along with some other note paper and lined and grid and just some different options, all from the Happy Planner. And if I need note paper, since I removed that tab, I just always go to the back and it makes it easy to find what I'm looking for. Got the pen loop now on there with my 4-color pen and my back cover. So I'm pretty much ready to go for 2024. Everything fits really nicely, even on these smaller discs, so I'm super excited. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch, and think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. and we'll see you next time. Bye.